shocked me off guard and couldn't even drop me. If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck.
That wasn't me, y'all. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all gotta excuse me, man. What's up, everybody? This is OMB. I appreciate y'all subscribing to the channel. Do subscribe if you're not subscribed. And hit the bell icon to be notified for future videos. So, to let you know who that was, y'all, that was Terence Crawford. He was talking to Gary Russell Jr. about a brawl that happened when Terence Crawford was like 18. Now, I'm going to give y'all the story that Terence Crawford told, because I haven't heard Gary Russell's, side, because I didn't know anything about that. I too much don't get into that, because, it's not a fight. But this type of stuff, yeah, I digs it. Because it's like, for this man, Terence Crawford, to come out and talk like this, I know he ain't playing. But anyway, apparently Gary Russell said that he punched or he did something to Terence Crawford. He beat him or something, or they had a brawl. He beat him. And Terence Crawford is on here, on this on the live stream on his phone, and he's telling what really happened. He said that he was in sparring in the Pan Am Games because he was number one in the country, but he was sparring in the Pan Am Games, and he was sparring this one guy. I forgot the guy's name, but he admitted, he's like, the guy got the better of me. You know what I'm saying? He was a man about it. But then he said Gary Russell Jr. got up there and fought somebody, and after Gary Russell Jr. got done, he went to Terence Crawford and told Terence Crawford, "Yo, dude got the better of you." And Terence Crawford said to Gary Russell Jr., "Yo, man, dude kicked your ass, B." You know what I'm saying? And then Gary Russell Jr., and I'm paraphrasing here, I'm paraphrasing everything. Gary Russell Jr. decides to get all rah-rah, and Terence Crawford is like, "Yo, man, I'll crush you, little man," because Terence Crawford was like 132, and Gary Russell at the time was like 112, you know what I'm saying? And boom. When Terence Crawford is hollering at the coach, he said Gary Russell just sucker punched him, B. Had a clear shot, clear everything. Terence Crawford said, "Yo, didn't even faze me, B." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Yo, I ate it." He said it didn't even faze me, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, that is a big difference. 112 to 132. Come on, B. Yo, that's a big difference. But he said, "I'm about to smash you, little man." And everybody grabbed him. You know what I'm saying? And that stopped him. And then he was like, "Yo," and see, this is the part that y'all don't understand what I'm telling y'all about Terence Crawford, and why I know he's a different breed of fighter. He got that old school type attitude, bro. He ain't scared of you dudes. He said, "Yo, forget about fight," because he said Gary Russell Jr. said he'll come up to 147 and beat Terence Crawford. My bad. Yeah, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's like, "Yo, you need to stay on down there with the little dudes. First of all, Lomachenko kicked your ass, and I was pulling for you." You know what I'm saying? This is a paraphrase of Terence Crawford, but that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? And he like, "Yo, now this is the part where this separates Terence Crawford from 99% of the fighters in any division." He said, "Yo," and he said this to other people too. You know what I'm saying? Right in their faces, bro. He was like, "Yo, forget about the boxing gloves. Well, let's go out here on the street." I'm like, "Damn, dog, yo, I love that, B, because he a real one, dog." And how I know he a real one? Because you don't hear Terence Crawford running his mouth like that. Yeah, he did it a couple times, trying to get fights, trying to draw some attention to himself. But for the most part, he don't do stuff like this, B. Never. But he like, yo, forget about that. Forget about the gloves. Why don't you come out here and let's one-on-one, mano-y-mano, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's what I like, B. That separates him from all of y'all, because he dead ass. And I know he dead ass. I know people that know him, B. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that know him over there, they say, yo, he is dead ass. Yo, he ain't playing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Screw the gloves. Let's fight right now. And yo, and I seen him step up in dude's face. What was that one dude who he smashed when he fought him? He just beat the hell out of him. Dude stepped up in his face and he was like, yo, forget about that. Let's go right now, B. You know what I'm saying? He stepped up in not Terence Crawford. He stepped up in dude's faces, B. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's up? And yo, so that separates him from all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? All of y'all. Even Errol Spence, he stepped up in Errol Spence's face, B. He ain't no sucker, man, by a long shot, bro. He a real one. He a live one, dude. And he swearing on his kids. He'll beat the hell out of Gary Russell Jr. Yo, let's get brawl right now. Forget about the gloves. So, yo, Gary Russell Jr., I don't know what you doing, B, or what you think you doing. But yo, and Terence Crawford said you was the prima donna at that time when he was like 18. You know what I'm saying? He called you the prima donna. He's like, yo, and then he named all kinds of coaches. He said Demetrius Andre, and all people can verify what he's saying in this video. I believed it before he even mentioned them names because of the type of dude that I perceive him and for what I see him to be, for what he's portraying himself to be. And when you start stepping up in people's faces, bro, live on cam, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's a real dude, B. You know what I'm saying? So, Gary Russell Jr., I don't think you'll beat Terence Crawford neither, bro. You too small. I'm thinking Terence Crawford is too small for Errol Spence. But then I seen pictures, and then even on this video, dang on Terence Crawford is looking like, you know, you getting kind of round in the face there, bro. You know what I'm saying? OMB signing out. Peace.